Hello everyone. I'm Professor Bum-Jin Park from Chungnam National University. Because of my poor English, I have to read my memoirs. First of all, I'm very happy to be here because this is my first time to visit Girona, not only Girona, but also Croatia. Sorry, Catalonia. I'm so sorry. So today I'm going to present the subject, forest therapy research in the Republic of Korea. As you know, this is very huge topics, so I only have 50 minutes. So today I will present focused on my research. And this is the background of my presentation. In the 1990s, the Republic of Korea began to distribution of forest recreation as one of the forest management methods. And in early 2000s, forest recreation activity with the purpose of improving health were specially defined and distributed as a forest healing. Rapid urbanization is the trigger for forest healing in South Korea. Recently, artificial urban environment have become a significant source of stress of urban peoples. This situation will be a start point both physiological and psychological health problems of urban people. So megacity, which has high population density, tend to generate more stressor because of this higher population and advanced degree of urbanization. As you know, Seoul, which is the capital city of Korea, is one of the cities especially weak to stress due to the rapid and the dynamic urban expansion process. With this background, forest therapy research began in the early 2000s in Korea. And the purpose of this presentation is to look at the overview of my forest therapy researches and share the result of the important research. And in my study, I measured what happened. Sorry about that. Where can I?
Opposite side.
What happened?
The other.
Right side. Right.
Oh, okay. It was my background of my research. And it was the purpose of my research. Excuse me. And, okay, I used the heart rate variability and heart rate and the blood pressure, and I measured cortisol and human NK cell activities and fMRI, fNIRS, and the activity calories and step counts as physiological indexes. And I measured QoL and self-esteem and profile of mood state for the psychological indexes. So this is the heart rate variability monitors. It looks like the ECG Holter. So it can monitoring the ECG, not only ECG, but also the interval of the R and RY, R peak and R peak in the ECG. And nowadays we can use this kind of simple equipment. We can measure the heart rate variability at the fingertips. Oh, sorry about that. And we measured blood pressure and the pulse rate. And I collect people's saliva for measuring the cortisol using this kind of utilities. And I collect blood, but I'm not a medical doctor. When this time, my colleague who has a licensed medical doctor, they help me. And we measured fMRI and the FNIRS, and I used activity calories and step counters. And at the same time, I measured the thermal comfort using the humidity, wind speed, and temperature. And I measured the phytoncide, which is kind of a chemical compound in the forest areas. And I measured fine dust. So this slide shows the equipment for the measuring the thermal comfort. And we collect the forest air for measuring the phytoncide. And we're measuring the fine dust in the forest area. Okay, I'd like to move to the result. Happily, I would like to introduce the result based on the most cited paper of mine. It has been cited by 566 times until now. I think it is the first research paper using high population of the subject. In this research, the number of subjects were 288 male university students. And I am the first author of this research paper, but this field experiment designed by Professor Miyazaki, who is the corresponding author of this research. Unfortunately, he don't like long-term flight, so I think it's hard to meet Professor Miyazaki in Europe. I think he's the most valuable also of this paper. So this is a photo of the experiment. They view a forest landscape in the forest area and urban area. At the same time, they worked in the forest area and urban area too. This is the result. This slide shows the result of high frequency power of heart rate variability when they viewing the forest landscape in the forest compared to the city areas. The HF power of HRV is enhanced at the same time. When they worked in the forest area, the HF power is enhanced. And this is the result of the ratio of the low frequency and high frequency of HRV. This is the indicator of the parasympathetic nerve activity. When they viewing the forest landscape and working in the forest, compared to the urban area, the parasympathetic nervous activity is come down. This is the result of first rate. And this slide shows the result of systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressures. And this is the result of Professor Kim Lee about the natural killer cell activities. So, as you can see, when they stayed in forest area compared to the baseline, the NK cell activity is enhanced. Okay. My major is forest science. So many people ask to me, but there are two patterns. First one is how to make money in the forest. But I don't have answer yet. I still find the answer. The second one, how to relax in the forest. So using this result, I just tell you a tip. Based on this research, the people who live in urban, they have to contact the nature in the urban more than 15 minutes. It can make relaxed body and mind. And this Professor Kingley's data shows only stay in 2 days in forest, it can enhance the immune power, and it still stay for the 1 month. So urban people who live in urban, they have to go to the real nature every month. It's a kind of tip how to use the nature environment. And this is the result of FNRS. When we view the forest landscape, the brain activities come down. And even if they see forest photo, brain part which has a good relationship with positive emotion like happiness area are activated. So this is the result of the fMRI. This slide shows the activity calories and the step counts. Compared to the indoor kindergarten, the kids in the forest kindergarten, they spend more calories and they work compared to indoor kindergarten student. And I'd like to move the next experiment. Actually, compared to urban and the forest environment is old-fashioned design experiment because we already know forest environment is more comfort and more relaxed environment. So nowadays, I try to compare what kind of forest is better place for the healing or better place for the cure. So in this experiment, I had 2 aims. First aim is to compare forest areas and urban areas. And second aim is compare each 5 different forest sites. This graph shows the index of sympathetic nervous activity by HRV. Sympathetic nervous activity enhanced when we are stressed. While viewing, we can see the significant difference between 5 sites of forest area and urban area. It's a very old-fashioned result. So after that, now we try to compare each 5 forest sites. While viewing, we can see the significant difference between site 5 and the other site from 1 to 4. Site 5 is most uncomfortable area in the forest. It shows the relationship between high frequency of HRV as a physiological response and the predict percentage of dystification, dystified, also known as PPD, as an environmental response as site 5. The low PPD means more comfort. HF and PPD has a significant negative relationship. It means that low thermal comfort is the reason why site 5 is most uncomfortable. And there are no relationship between PM2.5 and the phytoncide concentration between physiological responses. It means that the thermal comfort is the most important environment index in a forest. Now I'll move to the next result. The aim of this research is to compare the thermal comfort in different stand density. There are bird-eye view in forest. It is the crown of each tree. The stand density of site A is higher than compared to site B. High stand density has more trees. This slide shows the result of the PPD at the site and site B. The site A has high thermal comfort compared than the site B. This slide shows the result of autonomic nervous activity at site A and B. We can see that the significant difference between site A and B. This result means that in the stay at site A means high stand density forest, the thermal comfort is higher, and the activity of parasympathetic nerves is accelerated, and activity of sympathetic nerves is come down. Finally, I would like to move the last result. 50% of aim of the serious game is entertainment, and the other 50% is real purpose. In this study, it is the forest education. In my country, children like a video game and smartphone game too. They don't want to go to the forest, outdoor areas. So I designed the forest education game for children using smartphone in the forest environment. Children can play in the safe forest environment. They can find trees information using QR code. Sorry about Korea. This is a picture of the forest-based offline role-playing game. The children try to clear their mission in the forest environment. The mission is to find tree in forest. When they find the tree, the smartphone let them know the mission is completed. So I think many European children playing an online role-playing game in a room. They spend a lot of time with the game machine. So I hope this kind of serious game make more children bring to nature. It will be an entrance to go to the nature. And this slide shows the exercise equipment for the children in the forest. When I was an elementary school student, in my school backyard, there were this kind of equipment. So I played with this equipment all day. But nowadays, for the safety reason, in the playground, there are no this kind of exercise equipment. So I tried to make many kind of forest-based serious game and forest-based this kind of exercise equipment for the urban people and the children. This slide shows the physiological effect of serious game compared to before and after serious game. The cerebral cortisol concentration is down, and the HF power of HRV is enhanced. Sorry about that. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah.